of Bhakti Shastri. Yesterday, we could cover till verse number 29, and today 28, and today 29 onwards will continue. So, in yesterday's section, we were discussing about glories of devotional service. Especially, we saw the simplicity of bhakti. Krishna accepts everything, anything that is offered with devotion. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yomi bhaktya prayachati. Even a simple leaf, flower, fruit, or whatever is offered to the Lord, Lord accepts it. But when? With a devotion, if it is given with a devotion. And if somebody doesn't have devotion, still Lord is ready to accept. Yat karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tas kurushto madarpan. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, so Krishna says give it to him, because making that offering in itself is a very auspicious work. So although that doesn't fall in the category of pure devotional service, and we saw how uh, at different level it defies the different states. Like uh, it is similar to karma yoga, but it is not just karma yoga. Why it is karma yoga? Because in karma yoga generally the prescribed duties are offered, but here everything apart from this prescribed duty, everything is offering. And it is Jnana Mishra Bhakti, could be, but because there is a knowledge about the personality, the Atma and Paramatma properly, uh, so therefore it is not also Mishra Bhakti, because there is a Jnana Mishra Bhakti, yeah, because it has abundant appreciation of Lord's personal feature. It has an understanding of Atma and Paramatma, and it is also said that it is not falling in the pure bhakti, because he is doing everything uh, unoffering to Krishna. But in pure devotional service, things are offered to Krishna with intention to please to Krishna. There's an intention to please Krishna, and then there is a activity performed. So first there is a prominent aspect of pleasing Krishna is there, and then the activities are done. And just like this pastime of uh, Krishnas are been discussed about Chanur and Musting. They are fighting with the Supreme Lord, and they are giving incidental pleasure to the Lord by fighting, having a kind of a massage for the Lord. But that is not considered a pure devotional service, because they were not intending to please Krishna. Whereas Yashodamai, she was running with a stick, and Krishna was running, and he was crying also. But the activity done by Yashoda is with the intention to please Krishna. And Krishna, although is a crying, is internally pleased with the Yashoda. So in that way, uh, Shuddha Bhakti as a intention is very powerful there, very pure there, very intense there. So therefore, this situation will not be called as Ananya Bhakti. Therefore, but still, the point of worship, offering this worship, that is very, very important. So the Acharya tells it as a Jnana Karma Mishra Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. So where it falls is Jnana and Karma Mishra Pradhani Bhuta. So the Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti is not Ananya Bhakti, but is a mixture of Jnana and Karma are there. So therefore it is not Ananya Bhakti. And when somebody offers everything to Krishna, what happens? Two things happens. He becomes uh, free from the pious and impious activities, pious and sinful things, because His activities are completely offered to Krishna. And thus, with the development of knowledge, he also developed the renunciation and he becomes fixed in the Krishna consciousness. Thus, he will get liberated also. So, this this principle of offering will be very helpful for him as a result of offering everything to Krishna. He will be liberated. So, to do that, very important thing is one has to act in the direction of the superior direction. One may be offering everything to Krishna, whatever he does, whatever he likes, whatever he eats. But if it is under the direction of the superior guru and his representatives, uh, action performed in such spirit will clean one's heart, then his mind, and gradually he will make progress in the spiritual realization. And he becomes completely surrendered eventually. So today onwards, we'll see how Krishna is equal but specially inclined to his devotees. Just a minute. So the acharyas like Vishwanath Thakur, Balda Vidyabhushan, and Swami says, you liberate the devotees and then give yourself to your devotees, but not to non-devotees. But you do not show prejudice. But then, do you not show prejudice arising from attraction and repulsion? This uh, is a question by acharyas, no? That is Lord not showing some attraction and repulsion, kind of prejudice to some people and some people not. Even Prabhupada mentions in the purport in the beginning. One may question here that if Krishna is equal to everyone and no one is special friend, then why does he take special interest in the devotees who are always engaged in transcendental service? This is a question. So uh, he says, Krishna is saying, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshasti no priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyaham. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. So he's saying that I envy no one. Name deshasti no priya. And I am nor I am partial to anyone. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. Samhom sarvabhuteshu nami dveshyastu no priya. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mai te teshu chap. But whosoever renders service unto me in devotional service is friend and he is in me and I am also a friend to him. So, little appearing to be contradictory, but very nice reciprocation here. No? We see Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. So Krishna is not partial. He is equal to everyone and he envies no one. So there are two aspects of Krishna's personality here. One is Paramatma aspect and one is Bhagavan aspect. So Paramatma aspect is what? Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Name Dveshestino Priya. So he envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. That is Paramatma aspect. Because he's Upadishta, Hanumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaram. Whatever you want to do, living entity you can do, but I am there just to guide you. I am equally with you, where whatever you desire, I am there to sanction based on your desire. And ye bhajanti tu maam bhaktya, mai teteshu chapyam. This is Bhagwan aspect of the Lord. So Lord is acting at two different levels here. But whoever enters service unto me in devotion is a friend. He is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So this is Bhagwan aspect. So the same question. If Krishna is equal to and no one is his special friend, then why does he take special interest in devotees who are always engaged in the transcendental service? Hmm. So Prabhupada says this is not a discrimination, this is natural. So Prabhupada very nicely explains why it is natural. Why it is natural? He says that he gives a good, very nice analogy. What is that analogy? A charitable man is there, a worldly man, and he's charitable disperse. He keeps giving blankets and water and distributes, good facilities to the all society. So, but he will have his interest, special interest in his son. So similarly, Lord is also very charitable person. He gives to everybody, and he is especially favoring to his devotees. So in this connection, this Chaitan Charan uses very nice terminology. He says Krishna is impartial because he is open to the partiality to all. That means uh, so he's impartial because he is personal in one way, and but he's open to all. He is not saying that nobody can come and take my shelter, but those who take his shelter, he is very favorably disposed to them, and he's open for that. He's not saying that only these people can come my devotee. No, he's open that anybody can become his devotee. Therefore, he's impartial. I just said. So Krishna is impartial because he's open to all his partiality. So it is a really special term point by. But in general, Krishna shows affection to the all living entities. He supplies everything very generously, supply of all necessities for all people. Just like cloud was pouring water everywhere without any discrimination, even in the oceans also, on the rock also, on the land also. Everywhere is pouring the water. So Lord is like that. And Lord is also considered like a desire tree who supplies whatever person needs, whatever he desires, Lord accordingly reciprocates. So Lord's reciprocation should not be considered under the laws of karma. So these 3 points we'll see little later. First we'll see uh, that Lord's dealing with his devotees. They're very special because he gives specific attention. Such devotees are transcendently situated in Krishna. Mm. That is Krishna consciousness. Indicates that they are living transcendentalist. So, although they are not pure devotees, but they are practicing and they are in Krishna consciousness. So, Lord says, Maite, they are in me. Naturally, Lord is also in them reciprocally. So just like Krishna says, Ye yathama, Lord reciprocates according to the one sender. Ye yathama prapadyante tam statyo bhajamyam. So this is a transcendental reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. So Prabhupada very nicely brings out the point that Lord is personal, is not impersonal. And based and because Lord is personal, and devotees are personal, devotees render service to the Lord, and Lord also renders service to the devotees. This is reciprocal. Lord becomes a servant of the devotees. And this is the reciprocal relationship between the Lord and Lord's devotees. This is personal relationship, personal reciprocation. And he gives a very nice analogy that when living entity, they become inclined to serve the Lord, they become attractive like a gold. And Lord himself is like a diamond. So the combination of the gold and diamond is very nice. So gold ring and diamond on it, it's very, very attractive. So this is the reciprocation aspect of it. And all this reciprocation, this is considered, now coming to this 3 point, should not be considered under the laws of karma. So this kind of reciprocation Lord has, it should not be seen under the karmic reaction. The Acharya says that as soon as the person start practicing devotional service, Lord directly reciprocates with the devotees. And it belongs to the transcendental situation in which Lord and his devotees function. So, although people are there in this material world, especially devotees are in the material world, but because they are connected to Krishna, because they are connected to the process of devotional service, they are not a part of this material world. Prabhupada mentions here, devotional service is also not an activity of the material world, but part of spiritual world where eternity, bliss, and knowledge are predominant. So, uh, just like putting iron in a fire, this iron is a iron only, but by being in a fire, it becomes fiery. Similarly, devotees, when they are also in touch and connection with the Lord, they also becomes very fiery. So this is how uh, Lord is equal to all. At the same time, he has a reciprocation with his loving devotees. Mm. Yeah. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, my attachment to my devotee is my very nature. That attachment does not decrease even if the devotee commits wrong, for I make him come up to the highest standard. Mm. So even if he commits some wrong, still Lord's make up and brings it to the highest standard. They said. So therefore, the next verse comes. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhav sadhurev samantavya sammak vyavasito hi saha. Apichet suduracharo. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in the devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Samyak vyavasito hi saha. And sadhureva samantavya. So he is seen by the Lord as saintly only, even if he commits some most abominable activity. And while practicing, if he commits most abominable activity, is and if he is still engaged in the devotional service, the qualification is very important. He has to be engaged in devotional service. And by mistake, he commits some mistake, some abominable action. But is Krishna sees him still as a uh, saintly person because it's properly situated in his determination. Yeah. So even if devotee is imperfect, Krishna considers him as a saintly. Why he considers him as saintly? Because he is properly situated in his determination. 9.30. And in 31, it is mentioned, and he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace also. It's mentioned in 31, next verse. So because of these two reasons, Krishna considers even if imperfect devotee as a perfect. So Prabhupada says he is sadhureva. This is the emphatic expression of he is a saintly. Although the mistake is there, but Krishna is saying that it is a saintly. Why? A person situated in Krishna consciousness is engages uh, with determination in chanting the Hare Krishna. So now, because he has connection with this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is a very powerful determining factor. If he is really endeavoring to chant, because we hear the glories of the holy name, right? Uh, what is that shloka? That shloka says, even if person cannot commit so many sinful activities, only by chanting of the one holy name, he can be freed from all his sinful activities. So therefore, this connection is, if it is determined to chant Hare Krishna very sincerely, attentively, focused way, then certainly his mistakes uh, will be uh, repaired, or he'll come out of those abominable actions what he has performed, and should be considered transcendental, not to be derived for the accidental fall downs. So there are certain accidental fall downs we see in case of a very great Acharya Bilomangal Thakur. He was traveling and he was going towards attaining his perfection after getting the realization from uh, the prostitute who said, if only you would be so much attracted to the Lord's holy name, then you would have achieved the Lord by now. He gets that sharp realizations, and then he starts walking Bilomangal Thakur towards the Vrindavan. But on the way path, he gets attracted by again another womanly beauty of a woman, and then he starts following her up. But when he realizes that he's committed a mistake, that shows his determination. He wants to enjoy her, but when he realizes that, he doesn't feel even a little unfixed or undetermined and plucking out his own eyes. So he is very fixed in his determination. Therefore, Krishna says that he is still a sadhu. So, Narsimha Puran, the analogy Prabhupada mentions there, that accidental fall accidental fallen or abominable acts of a devotee is like a mark of a rabbit on a moon. Such spots do not impede diffusion of the bright moonlight. So the moon is there, and moon is showing such a cooling, soothing rays, and there are some dark parts like a rabbit, but it doesn't diffuse his diffusion. Still, he's prominently Chandrama is Shitalta provider, coolness provider, the nice sunrise, moon rays provider. So that is very prominent. So in case of a devotee, if he is engaged determinedly in practice of Krishna consciousness and serving the Hari Guru and Vaishnavas, and such situation comes in his life that he falls some to ephemeral activity, but still his good activities continues to do. Prabhupada mentions in purport one very interesting thing here. I'll just read it. Prabhupada says the living entity is conditioned. He has in living in when a living entity is conditioned, he has two kinds of activities. One is conditional, and another is constitutional. So, as far as protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities. Even for the devotees, in connection with the conditional life, and such activities are called conditional. So devotee is there, but there are society and state laws are there that has to be followed, and that is was conditional. But besides that, living entity who is fully in conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. So he is engaged in the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanidam. So such activities are performed in constitutional position, and they are technically called as devotional service. Now, Prabhupada says, in conditioned state, sometimes devotional service and the conditional service are in the relation to the body will parallel one another. So, devotional service and the conditional service may be parallel, and sometimes, but again, sometimes these activities becomes opposed to one another. But a devotee, as far as possible, is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt the whole some condition. He knows that perfection in his activities depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. So sometimes, however, he may be seen that the person Krishna consciousness has committed a mistake, but even the most amiable social mistake or politically or socially, but he is not seen a fallen down, that doesn't disqualify him. So in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada gives a quotation from Bhagavatam that even if he is wholeheartedly engaged in devotional service and situated in his, so Lord is situated in his heart, purifies him actually. Mm. So Lord, because he is practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting Hare Krishna, the Lord is situated in his heart, and that purifies him. Prabhupada also mentions that material contamination is so strong that even the yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared by Krishna, but Krishna consciousness is so strong that such occasional fall down is at once rectified. So material contamination is very strong, but devotional service is more strong. So devotee need to have that faith that if I practice devotional service very strongly, then I can overcome all the anarthas one may has. Mm. And therefore, the process of devotional service is always very successful, very powerful. And then Prabhupada says that no one should deride a devotee for the accidental fall down. Now, and then he mentions about how he's chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and therefore he's always in a purified state. So in that perspective only, qualification of a devotee to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in the devotional service. So this uh, two things are there. One thing is hypocrites, and one is the sincere devotee. So when somebody is very sincere, he determination to practice devotional service will be always more powerful sincerely, because sincerely means he himself is there in his relation with the Supreme Lord. He will not try to cheat himself. That will be spoken by Prabhupada in the next verse also. So we'll cover there. So yes, yes. Prabhupada mentioned the Prabhupada another thing. This verse only refers to an accident due to the strong power of material connection. One should not misunderstand that devotee in the transcendental devotional service can act in all kinds of abominable ways. So that mistake one should not do. That okay, if I am a devotee, and then I can do any activities because I am having holy name. That will naturally lead him to the seventh office. He will not be able to develop the taste for the holy name. Then he will not get connection or association of holy name. Naturally, he will not get purified, and then such person will not be a devotee of. Uh, is Prabhupada mentioned, if he does not improve in the character by devotional service, then is to be understood he is not a high devotee. And Prabhupada mentioned not a high devotee. So of course, devotional service is a declarations against Maya, war against Maya. And as long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there can be accidental fall downs. So one has to be very careful in taking shelter of the devotional service by his determination of getting early up morning in the Brahma Murta, chanting the holy rounds for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, associating and serving Vaishnava. So these are the pure person in his practice. Bhagavad Acharya says that they quote from the Katha Upanishad and they say that Upanishad says, he who has not given up the evil deed of senses or mind cannot attain the Lord even through the knowledge. How then can you consider them proper if the scripture says that such sinful person are averse to you? Or Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, how can you accept the worship of food and drink offered food and drink offered by the heart contaminated with a lust and anger? So person is having such a lusty and angry uh, heart and it is offering to you. So you need yome bhaktya prayachati. So that is uh, mentioned by Krishna in the next. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. So Krishna is saying that Shipram bhavati dharmatma. He quickly becomes the righteous and shashvat shantim nigacchati. And that is the lasting peace. Kunte pratijani, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly. My devotee never perishes. Name bhaktya pranashyati. मेरे भक्त का कभी नाश नहीं होगा. He will never perish. So Prabhupada in the beginning only of this purport states this should not be misunderstood. So that's a very important aspect because one can take it as support for doing all wrong activities to fulfill his own desires in the name of devotional service. And that is what exactly is not required. That is not what is exactly expected. Therefore, the acharyas like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was very strong in terms of uh, presenting this truth very clearly, even if it is in Vrindavan, even if it is in the Radhapur, the most holy and auspicious and the revered and worshipable place. He was very strongly objecting the practice of such people who were not continuing their practices as per the standards given by the Supreme Lord, and they were uh, and engaging in the wrong practices. So what happens to a devotee who succumbs to his conditioning and engages abnormally is explained as explained in the 9.30. So Krishna purifies him, sitting in his heart. He quickly becomes righteous, and yet it is the lasting peace. So Krishna therefore says, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, my devotee never perishes. So we see here the Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, known as the Bir Khas and Sakhar Malik. They were working under Nawab Hussain Shah. And their heart was so, of course, they were not personally going and themselves working under Nawab Hussain Shah. That was the situation which made them work under, because Nawab Hussain Shah said that if both of you intelligent guys don't serve me, then I will finish up all the Hindus. Just to protect the Hindus, the devotees, they accepted this. So while accepting and rendering service, although they were fallen from the situation, what they were doing, they are serving the cow flesh eaters, but their heart, they felt very ashamed. Uh, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami's father, he was be beating his own chest that, what life has come to me. My sons are Brahmanas, and they are serving the Malishas. And Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami also personally were feeling so um, bad about the situation. So Lord was personally present in their heart. So how can a person acting abominably be by accident or intention can be pure devotee? Because in 7.28 it is said that only one free from the mischievous act can become a devotee of the Lord. Otherwise, he cannot. So cleansing is actually going on his heart because he is in the process of chanting, cleaning the heart, chanting the Hare Krishna. He is engaged in ninefold devotional service. And when somebody is engaged in ninefold devotional service, Lord is present in his heart. All contaminations naturally get washed off. No need for ritualistic process. One who falls down from the exalted position, no need to undergo the certain ritualistic process for purification, because purification process is already there in his heart by continuously remembering the Krishna, by chanting uh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So all protection assured of accidental fall downs. So Krishna is glorifying devotional service is so powerful. We are discussing how Kevala Bhakti is very much glorified. So I spoke for some time here. I would like to see if there are any questions in this connection of our discussion. Any questions? Yeah, Hiranmani Taipu and one more devotee. Yeah, Akash. Yes, Hiranmani Taipu, then we'll take Akash.
हरे कृष्ण जी।
Yes, bro.
तो जी ये आप बता रहे थे स्टार्टिंग में कि भाव कैसा है, जैसे यशोदा मैया का भाव रहता है कि भगवान को प्लीज करने के लिए भक्ति करना, मतलब उनको एक तरीके से सजा भी दे रहे हैं तो प्लीजिंग के लिए, तो मेनली भाव रहता है डिवोशनल लाइफ में। लेकिन समटाइम्स जीवा रहते हैं, जैसे कि हम कल का गंगा बाथ में गए थे प्रभु जी, तो वहां पर एक कुत्ता गंगा में नहा रहा था प्रभु जी, तो पूरा गंगा में ही डुबकी लगाए, तो प्रभु जी उस केस में क्या होगा प्रभु जी? एज ए उस भाव में नहीं कर रहे हैं कि मैं अपना शुद्धिकरण के लिए आए हूँ ऐसा, लेकिन फिर भी ऐसे भक्तों मतलब मंदिर भी बहुत सारे लोग आ जाते हैं, तो उसका क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा प्रभु जी उनके जीवन में? भगवान को प्लीजिंग का कुछ ऐसा है नहीं।
उनको सुकृति मिलेगी, गंगा जी में स्नान करने की, मंदिर में आने की सुकृति मिलेगी उनको, और ये सुकृति बढ़ती जाएगी जो उनको भक्तों के संग में और भक्ति के बारे में क्लैरिटी लाएगी, जानकारी लाएगी, और धीरे धीरे वो भगवत भक्ति को अच्छे से पालन करेंगे।
प्रभु जी
तो
सुकृति मतलब जो सुकृति होती है वो डायरेक्ट भक्ति नहीं है, उससे पहले का पार्ट है,
वो
ऐसा बोल
भक्ति
सकते हैं?
उन्मुख सुकृति होती है। भक्ति के कार्यों से सुकृति दो प्रकार की होती है। एक तो जो पायस कर्म होते हैं उसकी भी सुकृति होती है। नमाम दुष्कृत, सॉरी, चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम जनानाम सुकृति नो अर्जुन, आर्तो जिज्ञासु अर्थार्थी। तो वो कुछ सुकृति करते हैं उसके जन्म में, उसके उनको फायदे मिलते हैं। लेकिन जो भक्ति के कार्य की सुकृति करते हैं, जैसे कोई व्यक्ति था जो शराब की खोज रहा था, लेकिन शराब
आवाज
मार्केट
आ
में
रही है?
खोज। हरे बोल।
बंद कर दिया आपने हॉटस्पॉट?
क्या हो गया? हिरन में नहीं था ब्रो?
प्रभु जी आवाज रुक गया था मेरे में, इसलिए।
ओके, ठीक है, ठीक। लेकिन आपकी आवाज हमको सुनाई दे रही थी। तो मैं कहाँ था? हाँ, भक्ति उन्मुख सुकृति के बारे में बता रहा था मैं। तो कोई व्यक्ति है, शराब ढूंढने जा रहा है, और लेकिन शराब ढूंढते ढूंढते उसने पूरे इसकी प्रदक्षिणा कर ली, मंदिर की प्रदक्षिणा कर ली। तो उसको प्रदक्षिणा करने का फल मिल गया। तो उसे एक स्टेप वो और आगे बढ़ता है। कैसे? उनकी आध्यात्मिक सुकृति में उसको भक्तों का संग मिलने का ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी है। तो जब उसकी भक्ति उन्मुख सुकृति बढ़ते जाती है और भक्तों का संग प्राप्त होता है, तो उसके दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन से उसकी भक्ति फिर फ्लरिश होती है। तो इन लोगों को भक्ति उन्मुख सुकृति मिली, जो गंगा जी में चले गए थे स्नान करने के लिए, कुत्ता या मंदिर में आने वाले भक्त लोग। ओके।
यस, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
आकाश को।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, मेरा एक प्रश्न कल के सेशन से है, मतलब कल की क्लास से, और एक आज का है। तो प्रभु जी, पहले कल वाला पूछता हूँ मैं। जैसे कल हमने वो डिस्कस किया था योगक्षेम वहां में हम। तो प्रभु जी, वहां पे मेरा एक प्रश्न आ रहा था कि लाइक हम लोग जैसे प्रीचिंग करते हैं, तो बहुत सारे तरीकों से स्टूडेंट्स को भक्ति में जोड़ने का प्रयास करते हैं। और उसमें क्या होता है कि बहुत बार ऐसे भी स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं जिनके पास मटेरियल डिजायर बहुत ज्यादा रहती है कि मुझे कुछ ना करना है, कुछ अचीव करना है। तो उस केस पे क्या होता है, वो भक्ति प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, लेकिन उनकी मटेरियल डिजायर इतना रहता है कि प्रभु जी वो उसको लेने के लिए प्राप्त करने के लिए भक्ति छोड़ देते हैं, बोलते हैं कि मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है, भक्ति के कारण मेरा ये डिजायर्स मेरी पूरी नहीं हो रही है, और वो भक्ति से चले जाते हैं। और फिर
हाँ
भगवान वहां
हाँ
पे उसके बाद उनका पूरा भी कर देते हैं, उनको वो मिल भी जाता है। तो
हाँ।
वहां पे भगवान ने उनको प्रोटेक्ट कैसे किया उनकी भक्ति को? क्योंकि उन्होंने तो भक्ति छोड़ दिया और वो दोबारा आते भी नहीं है। तो भगवान जब ये बोल रहे योगक्षेम वहां में कि मतलब जो है उनके पास में उसको प्रोटेक्ट करता हूँ, जो नहीं वो मैं दे देता हूँ। तो प्रभु जी, इसको कैसे समझेंगे कि उसकी भक्ति कैसे प्रोटेक्ट हुई? वो तो भक्ति
नहीं
छोड़ दिया जाने के।
नहीं, छोड़ तो दिया, हमारे लिए छोड़ दिया ना, हमारे हमारे आंखों में 3-4 साल के जो ऑब्जर्वेशन उसमें छोड़ दिया उसने भक्ति। लेकिन जरूरी नहीं कि उसने भक्ति छोड़ा है, भगवान उसको पकड़ के लाते हैं, या वो भगवान को कभी छोड़ नहीं पाता है। जैसे मेरे मतलब प्रैक्टिकल उदाहरण है। हम जब पढ़ रहे थे, तो उस समय में एक व्यक्ति था, उसने जपा चालू किया था। शायद मैंने बोला भी था इसमें, 96 में मेरा मित्र था। तो वो जपा कर रहा था, मुझे लगा बहुत अच्छा भक्त बनने वाला है ये। लेकिन अचानक से कुछ स्थिति आ गई, उसने सब जप वप छोड़ दिया, पूरा एकदम प्रॉपर मटेरियलिस्ट बन गया, फुल मटेरियलिस्ट। तो इमोशन शेयर करता था, लेकिन कभी जप नहीं करता था, कभी कुछ चीजों को फॉलो नहीं करता था। So after some time, then he started making his career. He went for so long career, and then after practically, literally, 15 or 18 years later on, I get a call and says that you'll be happy to know that I have started chanting now. I said, "Arey, where are you now?" He said, "I'm in Australia, and I recently, got such a realization of my life that I was just saved from a big accident. And I felt that no, I was just coming back from the jaws of death. So I felt that no, I am losing my time now. I should chant, which I knew. So it took 15 years, no, for him to realize. So sometimes person have their own time because of their intensity of desire to enjoy. And based on that intensity of desire to enjoy, Krishna also gives them धागा छोड़ देते, पतंग उड़ते जैसे, उड़ने देते उसको। और तो Krishna allows him. Okay, you have strong desire to load it over the material nature. You want to be enjoy. Try it out. No problem. Try it out. But people who has heard Krishna conscious philosophy, they are very pious soul, very very amazing personalities. Because and this fellow, he heard one Prabhupada's lecture, and then he was telling with such a conviction. He said, Prabhupada is the intelligent person in the whole creation. You said the big business magnates of this material world, they are fig in front of him. They are nothing, like that he was glorifying. I said, Array, you got a perfection of life in your life. If you can appreciate a person like Prabhupada, then he said, yes, yes. Still he is struggling. Hmm. He is not full way going ahead, because he has also taken a lot of detour in his life. No, so many ways he tried to enjoy, and he created his own karmas. So those karmas also are coming in between, but He's in touch with devotees. So he's struggling. It will take some time for him to come. Sometimes actually living entity makes his own path difficult for himself by his own ignorance. So Krishna gives him time and slowly gets him back, make him realize. Okay, Prabhu?
यस प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, इसका एक फॉलो क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता हूँ क्या? मतलब
Hmm.
समझ तो गया हमें। मैं ये सोच रहा था कि लाइक अगर भगवान उसका भक्ति में रहते ही पूरा कर दे उसका डिजायर, उसको अगर कुछ
नहीं नहीं,
अचीव करना है तो
वो
जाए ही
हम
नहीं।
हमसे ज्यादा भगवान जानते हैं ना, हमने इनसे जानते
ओके।
हैं। हाँ, वी थिंक दैट red is good, but he is a determined thief right now. He is a pretending, he is a determined thief. Then Krishna knows, Krishna the Paramatma knows our heart better than ourselves because we are contaminated. Krishna is pure. He knows everybody's heart and he understands कितना इसका disease है, कितना percentage है, हर चीज भगवान को पता है। भगवान accordingly he gives proper dose, allows him relaxation also. Krishna is perfect knower. Okay.
यस प्रभु जी।
So
प्रभु जी,
next,
आज का जो प्रश्न था, लाइक भगवान यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं अर्जुन को कि तुम डिक्लेयर कर दो न मे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति। तो प्रभु जी, ये प्योर डिवोटीज के लिए है? लाइक आपने 7.28 का एग्जांपल दिया, उसमें दिया हु इज फ्री फ्रॉम द मिस्चीवियस एक्टिविटीज। तो जैसे मैं अगर साध का लेवल पे हूँ, मैं तो फ्री नहीं हूँ, तो क्या भगवान ये मेरे जैसे लोगों के लिए भी अश्योरेंस दे रहे हैं? या जो प्योर डिवोटीज हैं, बहुत अच्छे प्रैक्टिशनर है, बहुत अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, दोज हु आर फ्री?
at every level, for pure devotee also and for practicing devotee also. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stataya bhajami. To the degree we are surrendered, to that degree Krishna will give protection. To the degree one is not surrendered, to that degree Krishna will not give protection. So nami bhakta pranashyati, to the degree one is, see, that always is there, that free will is always with the living entity, to serve or not to serve. But the moment he chooses, Krishna reciprocates. The moment he says no, Krishna says, okay, I'll wait for you. He's reciprocal. He's like all of us only. We see, no, some devotees' relationship sometimes were in little up and down. Two devotees, है ना, among them there are some relations up and down. They say, अरे उसने क्या किया था, फिर उस तरह से मैं करूंगा. Krishna is exactly like that, but Krishna is the supreme Lord. Yes, Amani Mohan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, my question is regarding that point that we should consider devotee like essentially even if he accidentally falls down. So in that case, it was mentioned, Prabhuji, that because he has a determination to follow, remain in touch with Krishna, to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So therefore, we should treat him as a saintly person. But in some cases, Prabhuji, we see that if a person leaves the process of Krishna consciousness and he totally goes in, like although you explained it through previous example, but still I want to hear more on this project. Like if he leaves the process and engages completely in the material things and leaves the chanting also, so still should we consider that person as a saintly person, or we should consider him as a materialist, like that?
We should understand that he has practiced a devotional service, so certainly Krishna has a special plan for him. So at this point of time, we should not associate with him because he's not in right position, right situation. And but we should not also deride him, seeing that अरे this fellow इसका कुछ ठीक नहीं होने वाला है, भक्ति नहीं कर रहा है. We should not have negative feeling for them. We should have concerned feeling for them. Negative feeling है अरे fallen gone, कुछ काम का नहीं है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, इसका कोई hope नहीं है. That kind of feeling we should not have. But we should have, अरे he's such a fortunate soul. He practiced, he chanted 16 rounds at one point of time. But somehow Maya has covered him so powerfully that he's completely forgotten, lost. Hmm. Like we hear in case of Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya was Alabandaru, no? So he was completely forgotten everything for some time being, no? He wasn't just capturing the whole territories around and moving around. And then the Gunarnava Mishra, uh, who came Nath Muni's disciple, and he made that yukti to bring him to his consciousness. So like that, we should be concerned. We may not be like a spiritual master exactly, but we should not say that. We should respect for his whatever devotional service he has done. Mm. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, even if it's once person chants once Krishna's name, he should be respected. Who's a dev? He's a Vaishnava, but he's a Vaishnava of that stature. So now sometimes we don't know who's practicing where. Prabhupada says the dogs and the pigs in the Vrindavan, they are the yogis of the previous life. We may be thinking that we are very advanced soul, but they are far advanced than us, the dogs and pigs also in Vrindavan. So from external point of view also we cannot make any distinction. So internally as a consciousness, we should not treat him like that. Otherwise he'll get falsely proud and illusioned more. But we should respect, we keep a safe distance, keep respectful distance, and have a respectful dealings with him.
Thank
Okay. So I was planning to end today, but I think we'll take one more class and then finish next time. So, thank you all very much. शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि गौर.